Hi, welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena, and for today's video discussion, we are going to talk about proving statements about segments. So, for this section, we are going to start with properties of congruent segments. We have here two highlighted terms. Familiar na tayo sa two-column proof. Now, let's define a theorem. So, true statement that follows as a result of other true statements. And lahat ng theorem, pinoprove yan. Minsan, dinidisprove. So, kapag ka dinidisprove, syempre, we have to show an evidence that it is not true. So, you can prove a theorem using two-column proof, which you are already familiar with. A two-column proof has numbered statements and reasons that show the logical order of an argument. Let's start with this theorem. So we have theorem 2.1 on our book. We have properties of segment congruence. Meron siyang tatlong properties. A segment congruence is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. This is similar with the properties that we discussed in algebra before. So reflexive for any segment AB. So the line segment AB is congruent to line segment AB. So parehas lang yung nasa left-hand side at saka nasa right-hand side. Next, symmetric. If segment AB is congruent to segment CD, then segment CD is congruent to segment AB. So katulad no nasa symmetric property of equality natin, if you are going to interchange the left-hand side and right-hand side, walang magbabago dun sa congruence natin. This time, we are talking about congruence instead of equality. And this is the symbol nga pala for congruence. Meron tayong equal, tapos meron tayong curved, yung parang ginagamit natin sa negation, dun sa taas. So, tatlong symbol. Now, for transitive, so ito yung may middleman ulit. We have if segment AB is congruent to CD and segment CD is congruent to EF, then segment AB is congruent to EF since pareha silang equal kay CD. So, dun tayo sa example number 1. Symmetric property of segment congruence. So, you can prove the symmetric property of segments congruence as follows. So, we have here two line segments. Visually, we can tell that they are congruent. Mukha silang magkasukat, di ba? But we have to prove it using the given. So, the given is segment PQ is congruent to segment XY. So, we have to prove that segment XY is congruent to segment PQ. So, ano-ano yung mga statements na gagamitin natin? Parehas pa rin, we will still start with the given. So, statement natin, segment PQ is congruent to segment XY. So, given ang reason. Pangalawang reason. So, yung measurement ni PQ ay equal sa measurement ni XY. Saan yun galing? So, definition of congruent segments. Na-discuss na natin yan a long time ago. So, kapag ka-congruent ang dalawang segments, ibig sabihin, pareha sila ng length. So, PQ is equal to XY. So, using the symmetric property of equality, meron tayong XY, numerical value to, is equal to the length of PQ, another numerical value. So, symmetric property of equality, which will then give us the outline for segment XY is congruent to PQ. Ulitin natin yung definition of congruent segments. Okay? So, meron tayong apat na outline. Ang ginamit lang natin ay, una, si given. For number 2 and number 4, definition of congruent segments, and we apply symmetric property of equality to arrive with the last outline. Okay, so activity na daw, yung para sa reflexive and transitive properties, probably sa exam ko na lang to ilalagay. Since madali lang naman to, pipili ako ng isa dyan. Pero, most probably transitive yung ipapaproof ko sa inyo. So, sa modern geometry, Pagdating nyo sa higher geometry, hindi na two-column proof usually yung ginagamit. Hindi na katulad nito na statement tapos reason. Tinatranscribe na natin siya into paragraph proof. So, paano natin isusulat as a paragraph yung two-column proof natin? So, dito, dapat marunong mag-English or marunong mag-translate into English ng equation. So, for the paragraph proof, una, reason natin is given. You are given that segment PQ is congruent to XY. Ganun lang naman. Itong unang outline natin, ita-translate natin into sentence. So, ito siya. Next, pangalawang reason, definition of congruent segments. We have PQ and XY. So, we are going to say, by the definition of congruent segments, PQ is equal to XY. Pwede rin namang PQ is equal to XY by definition of congruent segment. So, nasa sa inyo yun. As long as you are not violating any rules in grammar, it's okay. Next, reason. Symmetric property of equality, XY, PQ. So, by symmetric property of equality, XY is equal to PQ. Tapos, ang pinakang pattern natin, when we are arriving with the conclusion, lagi natin ginagamit tong word na to. Therefore, yun yung huling-huli, therefore, comma, by the definition of congruent segments, it follows that XY is congruent to PQ. So, ang pinakasimpleng format lang nito, start with the reason, then give the symbol. So, una, you are given with segment PQ is congruent to segment XY. By the definition of congruent segments, symbol ulit, PQ is equal to XY. By symmetric property of equality, XY is equal to PQ. And then, sa huling-huli, therefore, by the definition of congruent segments, it follows that, or pwede naman na wala na si it follows that, pwedeng diretso na XY, segment XY is congruent to segment PQ. Yun yung pinakasimpleng pattern. So, start with the given, state your reason, followed by the symbols or the equations. And then, for the last one, use therefore, and then state your reason together with the equation. Okay? Now, let's go to using congruence of segments. Use the diagram and the given information to complete the missing steps and reasons in the proof. Ang dali lang nito, Mag-fill in the blanks lang tayo. So, we have the given LK is equal to 5, JK is equal to 5, and JK is congruent to JL. We have to prove that LK is congruent to JL. So, dito tayo sa number 1. Given daw. So, tingnan natin kung sino-sino yung mga nakalagay dun sa outline natin, left-hand side, dun sa statement, na hindi kasali dito sa na hindi pa kasali dito, na nandito sa tatlo. Ulit. Meron tayong tatlong given. Hanapin natin kung sino yung hindi pa nai-state dito. Yun yung magiging clue natin. Kung sino yung dalawang given na nawawala. So, si LK is equal to 5, wala siya dito. Si JK is equal to 5, wala pa rin siya dito. Si JK is congruent to JL, ayun siya. So, na-state na yung isang given. Because of that, we are going to settle with LK is equal to 5 for A, and JK is equal to 5 for B. Pwede itong mag-interchange. Wala silang order. Okay, next. LK is equal to JK. We have transitive property of equality. Next, we have LK is congruent to JK. Ano yung reason nito? Okay, so meron tayo ditong symbol na equal. Definition of congruent segments, we have letter C. LK, or segment LK is congruent to JK since pareha sila ng measurement. Next, we have JK is congruent to JL. That is already given. Finally, dun sa D, we have transitive property of congruence. Ano yung gagamitin natin for here? Okay. So, we have the last outline, since nasa dulo naman siya, kokopyahin lang natin to. So, transitive property of equality, we have LK is congruent to JL. Okay? Okay. Now, let's go to number 3. Yan. Using segments relationship. In the diagram, Q is the midpoint of PR. So, pagka midpoint siya, ibig sabihin, same yung distance ni PQ at saka ni QR, or same yung length ni PQ and QR. But, we don't know that yet kasi kailangan pa natin siyang i-prove. So, show that PQ and QR are each equal to 1/2 PR. Dapat mapakita natin na parehas silang kalahati. So, decide what you know and what you need to prove. Then, write the proof. So, for the given, ito siya. Nakasulat na dito, Q is the midpoint of PR. Ano yung kailangan natin i-prove? Ito, yung show that PQ and QR are each equal to 1/2 PR. So, PQ is equal to 1/2 PR and QR is equal to 1/2 PR. So, start tayo for the outline. We will start with the given. Lagi, Q is the midpoint of PR. Given. Yan. Pangalawa, PQ is equal to QR. Definition of midpoint. Na-discuss natin yan before nung nagko-compute tayo ng midpoint X sub M at saka Y sub M. Next, we have PQ plus QR is equal to PR, segment addition postulate. Pag pinagsama mo yung dalawang line segment sharing a common point, they will be equal to the whole length of the two endpoints, PR. Next, we have PQ plus PQ is equal to PR. Kasi parehas lang yung measurement ni PQ at saka ni QR. So, pwede mo i-substitute si QR, pwede mo i-substitute si PQ sa QR. Okay? So, substitution property of equality. Next, we have 2 times PQ is equal to QR. Combining like terms lang tayo. PQ plus PQ is equal to 2PQ. Okay? Next, we are going to use division property yung nilagay dito. Pwede naman na multiplication property of equality. So, divide both sides by 2. You will have PQ is equal to 1/2 PR. And since PQ is equal to QR, QR is also equal to 1/2 PR. Substitute PQ to QR. Substitution property of equality ulit. Okay? So, that will be the end of section 2.5. Yung para sa segment congruence, doon na tayo sa angle. So, for angles, medyo malayo siya. Wait lang. Ayan, ito na yan. Proving statements about angles. Halos kaparehas lang din to ng segments natin kanina kasi magkahawig naman yung mga properties ng segments at saka ng angles. So, congruence of angles, again, reflexive siya, symmetric siya, and transitive, just like segments. So, transitive property of angle congruence, kung dun sa segment, nag-prove tayo ng symmetric property, dito naman, transitive property. So, we have 3 angles. Ang given, si angle A is congruent to angle B, si angle B ay congruent kay angle C. We have to prove that angle A is congruent talaga with angle C. Again, may common sila na B. Angle A is equal to angle C. Parehas lang to halos. Kukuha ka pa rin ng measurement of angle A, measurement of angle B, definition of congruent angles naman. So, for the given, we have angle A is congruent to angle B is congruent to angle C. Now, let's look at their measurement. So, numerical value na siya, equal na yung gagamitin natin na symbol. Measurement of angle A is equal to the measurement of angle B. That is through the definition of congruent angles. Next, yung pangalawa natin na given, angle B is congruent to angle C. Ito naman siya, nasa third. Definition of congruent angles pa rin siya. And then, using transitive property of equality, pwede na nating idiretso si measurement of angle A ay equal sa measurement of angle C. Again, by definition of congruent angles, isa-substitute na natin yung wala ng measurement. Angle A is congruent to angle C. Okay? So, ganito lang siya kasimple. Now, lagay na tayo ng may measurement. So, using the transitive property, this two-column proof uses the transitive property given that the measurement of angle 3 is equal to 40. Ito, measurement of angle 3 is equal to 40. And measurement of, or angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, itong dalawa. And angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. We have to prove that the measurement of angle 1 is also equal to 40. Transitive, nagsishare sila ng 2. Dapat si 1 ay equal kay 3 para ma-prove natin that the measurement of angle 1 is equal to 40 degrees. So, tingnan natin yung outline of proof dito. Medyo mahaba yung given. Isa, dalawa, tatlo. Tatlo sila. Next, transitive property of congruence. We have measurement of, wala pa measurement. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Transform natin sila into equality. Numbers na, so measurement na. Measurement of angle 1 is equal to measurement of angle 3. Definition of congruent angles ulit. Next, substitution property of equality. Substitute natin si measurement of angle 3 na given, which is 40, dito sa susunod na outline. So, measurement of angle 1 is equal to 40 degrees. Okay? So, another theorem, we have right angle congruence theorem. All right angles are congruent. Ano yung kaparehas nito? Ano yung pwede natin gamitin dun sa properties of equality natin sa algebra before? So, laging equal sa sarili niya. Okay? So, here, you can prove that Theorem 2.3 is true as shown below. So, we have two angles. We have angle 1 and angle 2 are both right angles. We have to prove that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So, given natin, 1 and 2 are right angles. Transform natin sila into equality. Measurement of 1, measurement of 2, parehas 90. So, nag-share sila ng 90. Measurement of angle 1 is equal to measurement of angle 2. Finally, by definition of congruent angles, tanggalin na natin yung measurement. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Ganun lang siya kasimple. Okay? So, yung mga susunod dito, ganun lang din yung mga gagamitin natin. Lagi nyo lang i-apply yung knowledge nyo about algebraic properties of equality. So, by transforming the symbol congruent into equal. Pero pag ginamit nyo yung equal, make sure that you are using the symbol M in the beginning of the angle because we are talking about their numerical values. Okay? Okay. So, hindi ko na siya i-discuss isa-isa. Ito, vertical angles. Na-discuss natin before ang vertical angles nga pala. So, vertical angles are always congruent. Kung sino yung magkatapat, yun lagi ang magkaparehas ng sukat. Okay? So, I think this is the last topic for chapter 2. Hopefully, this is the last one. Kasi gusto ko na mag-start tayo ng chapter 3. Check ko lang before ko i-cut yung video. Ito na talaga yung last. May chapter test na eh. Ang tagal. Pwedeng to na lang. Ayun! Perpendicular and parallel lines na tayo. Next meeting. Okay? So, I will be cutting this video at this point. And then, I will be uploading it as soon as I can. Nag-upload ako kanina. Hopefully, nakikita nyo na siya ngayon. And then, pagka-upload ko nung kaka-record lang natin, ito naman yung gagawin ko ng video. Perpendicular and parallel lines. So, thank you very much and see you next time. Bye!